Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to go over 5 must-know Amazon advertising strategies that will help you improve your sales. These 5 Amazon advertising strategies you can actually implement on a weekly and even on a monthly basis to improve your Amazon advertising performance. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Sebastian. I'm the founder of ZonRush, which is an Amazon advertising agency, and we deliver Amazon PPC videos like this on a weekly basis to help improve your Amazon advertising. But before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and if you're on YouTube, click the alert notification. That way, as I give more Amazon advertising tips like this, you'll get notified. Alright, so tip number 1 is optimizing Amazon's suggested bids on a weekly basis. So if you're using Amazon's suggested bid, they actually update quite often, and instead of optimizing them every single day, it's easier to optimize the bids every 7 days, and it's super simple. So if you're looking at your Amazon account right now and you're seeing a campaign that you have Amazon's suggested bid, just go ahead and every 7 days look through those keywords, and if you see, for example, like these keywords right here, last week the suggested bid was 69 cents, and last week the suggested bid for this particular keyword was 70 cents. And now 7 days later, when we look at them again, you can see that for these two keywords, they're now 59 cents. So all you have to do is just click apply, and it'll automatically update the bids to Amazon's new suggested bid. In some instances, the bid actually will increase, so your bid might be much lower than Amazon's new suggested bid. So in that scenario, you would just simply click apply. So for example, last week the bid for this keyword was 49 cents. This week it's 59 cents. So you would just click apply, so that way you can continually stay within Amazon's suggested bid range. And a lot of sellers don't necessarily know this when they're first creating their campaigns. When they're creating them, they might see really stellar performance right away, but after a while they start to see a decline in performance, even though they did use Amazon suggested bid. And odds are, usually what we see is that sellers just aren't updating their Amazon's suggested bid regularly to improve their Amazon advertising performance. The second Amazon advertising tip to improve the performance of your campaigns would be to add negative keywords. Now, one of the fastest ways to collect negative keyword data is to simply let an auto campaign run for 30 to 60 days, and after that time frame you'll be able to download your Amazon advertising reports, and you'll be able to see keywords and placements that have a high ACoS. And those keywords and placements, all you need to do is simply add those to your auto and to your manual campaigns. So to do that, let's say you've already collected your data for 60 days and you're looking at an auto and a manual campaign. Simply just go to the negative targeting section, and this is where you'll be able to add your negative keywords. So Amazon gives you two options when you're adding negative keywords: phrase and exact. I'll usually recommend that you add both. And again, adding negative keywords simply allows you to refine the search results that Amazon is optimizing for your product. So you don't necessarily, especially if you're a beginner selling on Amazon, you don't want to be on every single product right off the bat. If you're just starting out, it's better to refine where your product is showing for, and the best way to do that is to add negative keywords to your campaigns to improve your Amazon advertising performance. Now, the third Amazon advertising tip is really neat. Basically, look at your product sales price and calculate 70% of that. So for example, if your product sales price is $10, 70% of that would be $7. Now, if you see any keywords that surpass $7 in ad spend, go ahead and pause them. Now, what this little strategy is doing is it's basically saving you a tremendous amount of time and money, because for the conversions you do get, and they're already past that 70% ad spend, you already know that the ACoS for those particular keywords is already going to be approaching 100%. So when you're looking at your keywords right now, and let's say your product sales price is $9.99, 70% of that would be $7. So $7 would be your max bid threshold that you're willing to spend before turning off a keyword. So And it's really super easy to think about in this regard, because if you're already at 70% of your product sales price and ad spend and still don't have any conversions on those keywords, you already know that the ACoS is going to be extremely high. So to save yourself a tremendous amount of money and time, you're going to just pause those keywords ahead of time. And it's really easy to do that audit. When you're looking at your keywords, just go through the keywords. And for example, you can see that this conversion here is already at $13.66 in ad spend. And again, the sales price is $9.99. So you already know that the ACoS is past 100%. So we would pause that keyword. So go through all the keywords in all of your campaigns and use that max bid threshold, and go ahead and start pausing any keywords. Even though they don't have any conversions, you know they're already at that max bid threshold ceiling that you've set up. So you can go ahead and begin pausing those. And again, what this Amazon advertising strategy does for you is it maximizes the efficiency of your campaigns. So that way, every marketing dollar you have goes to your top performing keywords to maximize your sales. So the fourth Amazon advertising tip is optimizing your bid placements. So it's really easy to do this particular strategy. All you have to do is go inside of your campaign, click on placements, and you'll see Amazon offers 3 different types of placements: top of search, product pages, and rest of search. Now you can't actually optimize rest of search, but you can optimize the first 2. And when you're looking at these placements, you'll be able to clearly see which one is doing better than another. And the way to optimize this is basically just increase the percentage where you're doing really well. So if you're looking at this example, you can see that this placement, which is top of search result, already has a much higher click-through rate, 18%, and is producing the lion's share of the sales. So in this case, we would probably increase the bid adjustment by 50%. And all you're doing is you're telling Amazon to go ahead and increase your bid. So if your bid is by default $1, Amazon will be able to raise your bid automatically for you to $1.50 to improve your impressions for that particular placement. And when you're looking at it that way, you'll see that you're feeding more fuel in ad spend to your top performing placements, and you're letting the other ones still collect impressions, but just not as many impressions as your top performing placement. And you can go ahead and go through all of your different campaigns, look at the placements that are doing the best. Maybe in some instances, product pages are doing better for your campaigns. So in that case, you would adjust it 50% that way. And go ahead and go through all of your campaigns and simply just adjust the percentage. And that way you'll be able to feed more fire to your top Amazon advertising placements and improve your overall campaign performance. Now, the 5th Amazon advertising tip is super easy. All you're going to do is optimize your bid strategy. So by default, when you're creating any campaign, Amazon will use the dynamic bids down only bid strategy. And that basically means that they'll lower your bids in an attempt to capture a sale for your product. Now, they do offer 2 other bid strategies, which is dynamic bids up and down and fixed bids. For dynamic bids up and down, they'll not only lower your bid to try and capture a sale, but opportunities that they see to increase your bid to capture a sale, they'll go ahead and also increase the bids for your campaigns to maximize your sales. And while the third bid strategy is fixed bids, and they actually won't touch the bids at all. So it'll just stay at whatever bids you set it at. Now, between those 3 bid strategies, I will say that the default is the dynamic bids down only. And though it might sound like the optimal place to start, it's also Amazon's default bid strategy. So you're going to want to experiment with all 3 different strategies in order to find which one works best for your account. Because if that's the default bid strategy down only, you're probably thinking, why would I ever change it? I would much rather spend less money to make a sale and have Amazon optimize that. But again, it is the same default strategy that every Amazon seller will be using. So it might not serve your Amazon advertising if that's the one you stick with. So the best way to find out which one works best is to simply test it. So the first 7 days you have a campaign running, go ahead and use Amazon's default bid strategy. The second week, you can go ahead and change it to the up down. And the third week, try the fixed bids. Now, on the 4th week, be sure you're keeping track of each week's results And as you're keeping track of each week's results, you'll be able to see clearly a winner between the 3 different bid strategies. So go with whatever bid strategy that the data proves to work best for your account and go with that. And a good place to start when it comes to percentages is 50% for both top of search and for product pages. So that way you're giving Amazon some wiggle room to optimize both for lower bids and for higher bids. All right, guys, well, there you have it. 5 must-know Amazon advertising tips to improve your sales performance. Again, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if you found this video resourceful, please give it a thumbs up. That would mean the world to me. I'll see you guys on next week's video.